Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're back with you live. We're making our way down to Gettysburg. We want to remind you that we will be in Gettysburg on location. The Wiley Drake Show is normally on at this time, and I'll only be on for a short time because very quickly now the stewardess are going to say, you got to turn that thing off. And when they say that, I will do that. But in the meantime, I want to remind you, there's three ways you can go to Gettysburg. Number one, you can be boots on the ground. Join us in Gettysburg for the 4th of July Racial Reconciliation Picnic and Celebration. You can come and be with us in Gettysburg. Number two, you can watch us on the Wiley Drake Show. And if you're watching right now for the first time, my name's Wiley Drake. This is the Wiley Drake Show, live on at 12 noon in Gettysburg. And that, of course, is 9 o'clock here in California. But you can join us in Gettysburg by simply being on the Wiley Drake Show, and you can watch us there. Now, also, we will have a communications channel open. If you would like to call us and reach us in Gettysburg and wish everybody there a happy 4th of July, you're welcome to do so. The number to call in on is 712-432-1690. Now, once you call that number, you will have to put your access code in. Your access code is 399-430-pound. 399-430-pound. Call that number anytime we're in Gettysburg, and you'll be able to reach us. You'll be able to give a communications update. You'll be able to give a greeting to those that are there. We will be blowing the shofar while we're there. We'll be blowing the shofar from the very spot that Abraham Lincoln gave his Gettysburg address. So we are broadcasting to you now live aboard the plane, but we'll be shutting this down shortly, and then we'll be on our way to Baltimore, where Dr. James David Manning and his crew will be picking us up there in Baltimore, and so we're looking forward to being there with them. So, thank you for watching. Again, if you're watching for the first time, my name is Wiley Drake. I'm chairman of the Congressional Prayer Conference of Washington, D.C., and headquartered in D.C., but also headquartered here in the Los Angeles area. Our studio on the West Coast is in the city of Buena Park, a very historically significant little town. It is out in Orange County, and fact of the matter though, the Independence Hall that is in Philadelphia, a few years ago, about 15 years ago, Walter Knott recreated. So we have an exact replica in Buena Park of Independence Hall, including the Liberty Bell, including all that you see when you go to Philadelphia. So if you want to visit Independence Hall, the original one is in Philly. The copy, if you will, exact replica of it is in Buena Park, California. Buena Park means good park in Spanish, and it's in the Los Angeles area out in Orange County, near Disneyland. And the second largest amusement park is literally there at Knott's Berry Farm. So thank you for watching us today. Thank you for being faithful to the Wiley Drake Show. This is going to be an abbreviated show. We've been on almost 15 minutes, but they will very quickly here be telling me I got to cut the show short. We do want to remind you that we're on every day at 9 a.m. California time. That's 12 noon Washington, D.C. time. Then we're on again at 5 p.m. California time, and that's 8 p.m. Washington, D.C. time. And we do want to remind you that we're working very closely with several of the senators and representatives.
And ladies and gentlemen, while we're waiting for them to finish up with the baggage and shut the aircraft door, let me give you a little information about our flight today. Today, you are under the command of Captain Daniel Sebring. Your first officer is Michael Law. And my name is Joy McAfee. I'll be serving as your first on today's flight. We are expecting a 4-hour and 37-minute flight to Baltimore once we're airborne. And we should be arriving at about 5:19.
That sounds almost on
Now, folks,
time.
remember there is a 3-hour time difference between Los Angeles and Baltimore. So right now, if you'd like to set your watches, it's about 12 minutes after 12 in the afternoon. And we are expecting some turbulence across the nation. I know you all have watched the news and you know that the weather has been kind of bad across the nation. So folks, whenever the captain has that seatbelt sign on, please make sure you stay seated. And he will give us advanced warning, you know, if it gets bad enough that the flight attendants need to be safe, if the flight attendants need to be seated. But folks, just because we're up and about doesn't mean it's safe for you to be up and about. So make sure the seatbelt sign is off before you get up and move around today. Also, folks, we do have chargers on board the aircraft, so you will be able to charge your devices as soon as we get up in the air today. If one of you will remind me to turn on the chargers once we're airborne, I will be happy to do that for you. At this time, we need to have everything unplugged from the charging units there by your seats because they could possibly get you all tangled up if there were ever a need to get out quickly from the airplane. So we want to make sure everything is unplugged from those outlets at this time. And remember, as soon as she shuts the aircraft door, we will need to have your larger electronic devices turned off and stowed, and your smaller devices need to be in the airplane or non-transmit mode. Folks, if for any of you that need to use the restroom, you're welcome to do so at this time while we're waiting. Once again, welcome aboard.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the Gettysburg Special Racial Reconciliation celebration is going to be held Saturday and Sunday. Dr. James David Manning and a group of folks from New York, there's about 4 buses or 5 maybe coming from Harlem. There are also some folks coming over from Maryland. I think there's going to be a total of about 6 busloads of people being bussed in for the great celebration. If you're listening to us in the Baltimore area, that's just a short drive down. The picnic, the food, that's all free, doesn't cost a dime. We encourage you to come and be a part. There'll be music, there'll be celebration, there'll be food, there'll be a lot of fun, and we encourage you to join us in Gettysburg. We will begin our meeting at the Tower of Eternal Light there in the park, and then we'll be transferring over to the auditorium area where we'll be having all the different speakers, all the different performers. There'll be a great number of great dancers and musicians from Outlaw World Community Church in Harlem. They're just down the street from the Apollo Theater there, and so there's a great number of those people in that church that are very talented. So come and join us in Gettysburg for this 2015 celebration of racial reconciliation. And by the way, if they give me time before we get off the air, we want to remind you of one of the tragedies, of course, that you've all been hearing about. But in addition to those 9 people that were brutally murdered, there have been now 7 churches, 7 African American churches that have been partially or totally destroyed. And we at the Southern Baptist Convention have gotten our North American Mission Board, and they're setting up a fund. And if you'd like to donate to that, it's absolutely free. We don't take anything out. Whatever you donate will be passed along to those 7 churches. Now, 3 of those 7 churches so far, we have already reported on this program. The other news media don't report that. They don't tell you the truth. But 3 of those churches have been declared arson attacks on those churches. What the other 4 will bring about, we don't know. We don't tell it ahead of time, but we do tell it when it comes out. But if you would like to be a part, if you'd like to help those folks, if you'd like to help them clean up their church, if you'd like to help them repair their church, or in some cases even totally replace it. I'm going to give you a website that you can go to and a phone number if you want further information. You simply go to NAMB, N-A-M-B, that's North American Mission Board, NAMB.net/give now. I'll repeat that. NAMB, N-A-M-B, for North American Mission Board. NAMB.net, NAMB.net/give, G-I-V-E-N-O-W. And there is a free number you can call if you'd like to make arrangements that way. The number is 866-407-6262. Now, if you make a donation to the North American Mission Board, it's non-denominational, interdenominational, but you need to put on your check or your money order or whatever you send, you need to put these three words: Church Fire Fund. Church Fire Fund. And whatever you send, 100% of it, nothing coming out, no fees, no charges, but whatever you give, 100%, if you mark it to the Church Fire Fund, it will go to that fund. So please mark your check, your money order, whatever you send, mark it to Church Fire Fund. Now I'm going to repeat one more time, and that's about all the time I'll probably have. But the email or the website is NAMB, N-A-M-B. That stands for North American Mission Board. NAMB.net/give now. NAMB, NAMB.net/give now. Or if you want to call and talk to somebody, you want to make sure what's going on, you can call this number, 866-407-6262, and be a part of helping these folks there in South Carolina that have had their churches either damaged or in some cases burned down. So please join in and help with this Church Fire Fund. The beauty of it is all you've got to do is make arrangements to give, and 100% of what you turn in will be given to those churches in the Church Fire Fund. So we encourage you, first of all, to pray for them, and then do what we've been talking about, giving feet to our prayer. And what if every pastor in America, there's a lot of pastors all across America. I made yesterday, and I'm going to say this personally, but I made yesterday a donation to the Church Fire Fund of $100. Now, that's not a lot of money, but what if every pastor, we have more than 50,000 pastors in our own denomination. What if every pastor would send $100? Not a lot of money, but it'll go a long way toward rebuilding these churches. So go to NAMB.net/give now, or call the North American Mission Board at 866-407-6262. And like I said, two things I want to remind you. Number one is 100% of what you give will go to that fund. And I want to remind you, please mark it. Make sure you put in your memo pad or somewhere a note, but make sure you mark it Church Fire Fund. And we want to make sure that everything you donate does indeed go to where you would like it to go. So we do thank you so much, and we want to encourage you to watch us while we're in Gettysburg. We're going to be ending this show here in just a few moments. My understanding is they're still loading luggage, and that means we're going to be here a little bit longer. But we ask that you would pray for the trip, pray for the flight, pray for the work that's being done already in Gettysburg. Dr. Manning's crew is already there setting up the area where the great music will be coming from, where all the great food will be coming from. They're in the process of setting up and getting that done as we speak. And don't know if we're going to get more time here or not, but we'll see if we do. And if we do, I'm going to try to get in touch with our studio there in Buena Park, if we can get them on the line. If we can get them, they're in the upper room prayer room right now. We'll do our best to do that. Well, not sure what's going on here.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the flight deck, welcome aboard our flight 1525. I know everybody sees the kids coming up here getting pictures, and it's past departure time. They're loading up some bags. Hold on 1 second, folks. They're just closing the main cabin door here, folks. We still got some bags being loaded, and so we had some kids up here for pictures. Anyway, we're looking at probably about 5 to 10 more minutes before they finish the bags. Flight time today is going to be 4 hours and 37 minutes. My name is Captain Sebring. Honored to be up front is First Officer Michael Law. Our cabin team is being led back by Joy. We'd like to invite you to have a nice flight with us today. A little bit of light turbulence going across the country. We expect a pretty nice ride. Going to be going up to 33,000 feet and then up to 35,000 feet. Weather condition of Baltimore is just scattered clouds. Temperature 74 degrees. Slight winds out of the southeast. We'll give you updates on if there's any more delays here, but like I said, just a few more minutes so we should have bags loaded and be pushing back. Thanks for your patience. Thanks for coming.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you've heard the announcement. We are a little bit delayed here, so